Hey buds! Welcome back to Thursday. I am your Thursday bud, Danny, and today we are going to be getting into some pretty deep stuff. So this is a hashtag getting real video. So recently I had a bit of a falling out with a couple of people that were very, very close to me, that I thought of as family. Like, no joke, they were as close as family. I even referred to them as family members. And recently we've had a falling out because there are some deceptive people in the world, and if you think, sometimes you think that people actually know you well enough to not believe deceptive people when they tell you things, but I guess nobody's above deception sometimes. But anyways, so for the last few weeks, I've been really bottling up my emotions and pretending like what's going on is not bothering me, that it didn't hurt insanely bad. And I've been trying to put on this really, really tough exterior that kind of gives the illusion that I just don't care what's happening right now, that what these people have done is not bothering me, and that I just don't care that they've been added to the list of people that have just left my life without really a good reason. But in all honesty, it hurts. It hurt the last time a friend walked out of my life without any cause, and that person I thought of like a sister. Like, we'd introduce each other as sisters, and just one day she just up and left my life. And when you're that close to somebody, it really does hurt. It does a number on you emotionally. And at that point in time, after that, I kind of stopped trusting people a lot because I wasn't really sure if I could, because I was so close to that person that it made me question everybody, like whether or not I could trust them or not. And so I was going through that, and it made me really sour on people for a long time too. Like, I didn't want to be around anybody. Like, I just really wanted to be with my parents, and I really wanted to just be by myself. And so, I kind of closed off from everybody for a while and just didn't have anything to do with anybody. But eventually I got over the hurt of it all, and so I started opening up to people again. But now, with this whole situation going down, and honestly, these people I considered them closer family than that other girl that I considered a sister. They were that close to me. I considered them seriously, actually in my family. And that this hurt is goes really, really deep. And it's kind of hard to explain exactly how I'm feeling about it. But I think that's why I've been bottling it all up, because on one hand, I'm sitting here like, it's not like you haven't gone through this before, Danny, and you got through that, it'll be fine. On the other hand, over here though, it never gets easier to lose people that you care about. But on the other hand, over here, it's like, why do you feel this way? Because it's a choice that they're making, not you. It's a choice they're making to walk out of your life and just believe things that they're believing. And you shouldn't feel hurt about it. You really honestly shouldn't care about what's happening over here and how you're feeling. But then we go back to this side again, and it's like you sit here and think, these people were close to you, and you're human, you have emotions to feel, and it's really this conflicting thing inside me for my feelings, because I don't want it to bother me that another set of people have left my life, but the other half of me is like, this hurts. It hurts. So, like, I've never actually really told you guys, like, my story about bullying, and I do promise to tell you guys that in a later video, but like, it's a long story and I don't want to get into it too much today because I'm kind of trying to focus on one thing here. But anyways, but I'll get into it just a tiny bit. I was bullied on the artistic roller skating team that I was part of for 4 years, and I was bullied to the point of I wanted to commit suicide. And so, yeah, and it wasn't because I felt like there was no way out of skating. Like, I knew I could quit skating, but I loved skating so much, so I didn't want to. But it was more, at that point in time, I felt like the pain I was feeling would not ever go away. And so I wanted to end my life so the pain would stop. Because I just wanted the pain to go away. And at that point in time, I felt like it never would. So suicide felt kind of like the only option I had at the moment, because I felt like no matter what I did, no matter how happy I became again, that the pain of it all would never go away. And so I didn't want to carry that around for the rest of my life. But the good news is I didn't commit suicide, because the day that I was going to do it, I was sitting in the car waiting for my mom to come out of the store, and I was watching the cars on the road, and I looked down at my cell phone, and I was ready to call my dad and say goodbye to him. Because I was sitting in the car and I was crying, because the pain just felt so overwhelming. that there was just one thing left that I could do, just to make it stop. But as I started reaching for my phone, I heard a voice inside say, "No. Go run to your mom." And then, I jumped out of the car and I ran to the store. And my mom was actually coming out of the store at that point. And I told her that I almost left. But after that, I started to kind of be okay. Anyways, after that day, I decided it was time to stop roller skating because I had to get out of there because I couldn't. I've got a life to live, and the good news is I still have a life to live because I listened to that voice inside me say no. And I still struggled with suicidal thoughts and deep depression for a long time after I was away from the bullying, because I'd lost myself in that time, in that 4 years that I was bullied. And so, yeah, it was a struggle. But anyways, so in 2014, I went to a youth camp, a Christian youth camp, and I got set free from everything that had happened when I was bullied, and I didn't feel the pain anymore. You have no idea the relief I felt from carrying that around for so long. And honestly, the second I was set free, I did not feel that pain anymore. And it was such a relief that I cried for 5 hours straight. 5 hours straight. I'm surprised my body had that much tears in it. But of course, 4 years of bullying, I get in a couple of years of struggling to get back to normal, I guess. I guess an hour for every year that I had struggled. So, but anyways, with the recent falling outs with friends, like the last one with the girl that I thought of like a sister, I kind of had depression hit me again. And with that came the reminder that I almost committed suicide. And but anyways, I got over the hump again with the help of some other great people in my life that I had more solid relationships with, like my parents and Betsy and Sammy, and honestly the people that I had a falling out with recently, because they were close back then. But with the recent falling out with those people now, I have not really been able to express how I've been feeling, other than I have had days where I feel very depressed And I have had some days where I have had suicidal thoughts again. Because I've been through situations like this before, and I'm honestly just so sick of feeling hurt, because a part of me says that I should be expecting it. But the other part of me says that that's not what I should expect from people, because that's not what God wants. And so I've just been kind of in a constant struggle with my own emotions lately. And I've been putting on this outward appearance of tough and uncaring towards it, when really on the inside there is a conflict of I feel hurt, and I actually am not letting it bother me. And it's really confusing, and it's hard to know exactly how I'm feeling on the inside. But the conclusion I came to kind of the other day, when I was finally unbottling all of this stuff with my mom, telling her exactly what was going on with me, because I needed her to pray for me specifically about suicidal thoughts, because I was having them again and I don't want them. Like, I don't think anybody wants them. But anyways, so I was telling her to pray specifically for suicidal thoughts because I was struggling with them again, and she asked me if I was, like, giving any thought to them, and I said, no, I'm not. And I really am not. I'm not giving any thought to suicide ever again, and I choose to keep living life because I know that I have a life to live. But I needed prayer because those thoughts do still pop up every now and then, and sometimes they scare me and they cause me deep pain inside, because I know that I did almost commit suicide one time, and it hurts because that does bring up all the terrible memories of the past. But I will tell you this much. The more you talk about something traumatic that has happened in your life, the easier it gets, the less painful it gets. I promise you that. Like, if you were bullied, or if you are being bullied, talk to somebody, because that was my biggest problem whenever I was being bullied. I was not talking about how it was making me feel. And so it was all inside me, and I felt like I was alone. But if you talk to somebody, if you talk to like your mom or your dad, or like just somebody that you absolutely without a doubt trust, that you know is going to be there for you, like it, I don't know who's in your life. I know who's in my life, and that's who I trust. So what talking to somebody that you trust, like really, really trust, does about this traumatic thing that you're feeling, or these emotions you're feeling, it makes you feel like you're not alone anymore. It makes you feel like you're not going through something alone anymore. And it's so much better, because like when you feel alone, that's when the devil can really play with your head. He can just wreak havoc in there with your emotions and how you're feeling and your thoughts. And there was a thing flying around my head. I'm not just crazy. Anyways, so talk to somebody. That's how you start working through this. And that helps you work through the thoughts you're feeling. That helps you work through the emotions and the trauma of it all. And that's when you actually start to heal. Like, that's when you really, really start to heal from the trauma or the stress or the emotions that you're dealing with. that's when you really, like, I mean, deep down inside, start to heal. Because you realize that you don't have to keep it all bottled up anymore. So I unbottled finally with my mom, and then I felt a lot better because I told her that I had really been trying not to care about it, and that it was really getting harder for me to try to not care about it or to appear that I wasn't caring about it. And it made me realize it's okay. It's okay to not be okay with something. It's okay to not feel like you have everything figured out in your head. It's okay that you feel hurt or that you've lost trust for somebody. And it's okay to talk to somebody that you really know, like your mom or your dad. Like, it's okay to do that. It's okay to not be okay. And that's the importance of this whole video. It's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to feel the emotions you feel. I mean, we're human. God gave us emotions for a reason. And some of them kind of suck at times. But it's okay to not be okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. As long as you're doing something to try to make yourself be more okay, like talking to your mom or your dad, like, it's okay to be human. So if you feel like you have this conflicting emotions in your head, or that you're feeling like this half of you says you shouldn't feel that way, and this half says it's okay to feel that way, then it's okay. Because you don't have to have all these emotions figured out at once. And it's okay to ask for help. Like, it is okay. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow of life. If you're being bullied like I was, or if you're having problems with people in your life, I promise that it will get better. And it is okay to be not okay. If you guys ever need to talk to me or Betsy or want to just kind of share your story with us, you are more than welcome to, because we would love that. We would love to talk to you and just kind of share with you different experiences. Betsy actually works with troubled youth. So, and she went to college. She has her degree in psychology. So she's actually pretty good at dealing with that kind of stuff. But anyways, so moral of this whole video, it's okay to not be okay. It is okay to not have all your emotions figured out, and it's okay to feel pain. Like, if somebody's hurt you, it's okay to feel that pain. Even if part of you is struggling to understand why you're feeling it. But yeah, if you ever need to talk to somebody like me or Betsy, you can send us a message on our Facebook page. Just unbottle that. Unbottle everything you're feeling with somebody that you trust. And I promise that's when you're going to start to heal. You'll start to feel better. And it'll be worth it. So I will see you buds on Saturday for Challenge Day. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye buds!